These photos are from Ukraine, a European country which has been suffering from Russia's invasion, which has been ongoing since 24th February 2022. And Russia has been waging war against Ukraine for the last 9 years, when it occupied Crimea and Donbass in 2014. Hello everyone! We're so glad to have finally finished this video about our charity bike ride from Bury St Edmunds to Brighton, which we've done from 22nd of August to 24th of August. It took a bit of time to put together the footage from the ride into this relatively short video. This is me and my son in the picture, by the way. Yes, and someone forgot to smile. The aim of this bike ride is to raise money for Hospitalis, Ukrainian volunteer paramedic organization, saving lives on the front lines every day, and we have raised £1,500 so far, of the £2,500 target amount. Please consider donating to this good cause. The link to our fundraising page is in the description. As for the bike ride itself, it went quite smoothly overall, which we are very pleased with. But it doesn't mean it was an easy one. On the first day, me and my son have covered 65 miles, about 104 kilometers, which for relatively inexperienced cyclists as ourselves is a considerable distance. Luckily, the weather was on our side, though there was some rain on the third day when we were approaching Brighton. After a short stop for snacks, we are cycling through Clare, one of the most beautiful towns in Suffolk, situated on the River Stour. This place is about 50 miles or 24 kilometers from the start of the ride, and you can learn more about this lovely town in our separate dedicated video. I will leave a link in the description. Here is the entrance to Clare Castle Country Park and the site of the Clare's long-gone train station. And this used to be a bridge for the trains, before this railway line was closed, more than 70 years ago. And now it's just a path along the River Stour. Very nice place to cycle through though. Here is one of the finest England's villages. This is Finchingfield, a picture postcard village in rural Essex. It is very pretty, as you can see, with this lovely pond and blue skies with white clouds reflecting in it. On the first night of the ride, we were in Sewardstone Campsite in Lee Valley, in London's northern outskirts. I would actually recommend this place if you are in the area cycling to London. You can either bring your own tent or stay in one of the small houses called cocoons, as we did. Also, lots of people stay in their caravans, and the prices are very reasonable. So, this is our second day on the road. We feel all refreshed after a long ride yesterday. A useful advice: when you're cycling in hot weather, don't forget your sun cream to prevent sunburns. Sounds obvious, but it's easy to forget about it when your head is preoccupied with all other important stuff when packing the bags. quick stop at McDonald's and we are continuing our journey. From Sewardstone, there's a good access to a cycling path along the River Lee. And from here, you can cycle all the way to central London. And the path offers a pleasant ride along the river without having to worry about traffic. Here, as you can see, there are lots of these long and narrow boats, and that's exactly their name, narrowboats. A piece of history. These boats used to be barges for transporting coal and other goods on the canals and rivers in Britain in the old days. And the path which we are on was for horses to tow the barges. But this industry went into decline and eventually ceased to exist with the development of railways. We are in East London and turning here to take a look at the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. This is the stadium from the 2012 London Olympics. Now it's the home of West Ham Football Club. West Ham is one of the 17 football clubs in the capital. 7 of them, including West Ham, are in the Premier League. You can imagine how crowded this area gets on match days. After the Olympic Park, our next destination is the Tower Bridge in central London. London has amazing dedicated cycleways like this one, although they are not very common. Now we are in Whitechapel. in central London. And if you turn right from here, you'll find yourself in Brick Lane. This area is famous for its markets, various independent shops and restaurants. It is very diverse, with a great mixture of different cultures. Also plenty of graffiti art here. And we're now approaching the Tower of London, famous London castle dating back to 11th century. You can see the Tower of London on the left-hand side. We decided to take a stroll on the bank of the River Thames. There's the Tower Bridge in the distance, and the Shard skyscraper as well. Simply enjoy the view with us. We are back on our bikes and cycling on the Tower Bridge across the River Thames. Cycling here can be a bit stressful due to the amount of traffic, but this doesn't overshadow the experience of cycling on the most beautiful bridge in London. It was built back in 1888, and now it's impossible to imagine London without it. The Tower Bridge is raised daily to allow toll boats to pass. And for a fee, it's possible to get to high-level walkways, the ones you can see above. Originally, they were built for people to walk on when the bridge is raised. And here, across the River Thames, is the Canary Wharf, famous for its skyscrapers. This area is called the Docklands because this is where the London's docks used to be. But as the time passed, the docks in East London had become outdated and had to be closed eventually. And from 1980s to the 2000s, Docklands had been redeveloped into a financial district, helping London to remain one of the biggest financial centres of the world. The second night of the ride we spent at Mulberry Green Meadows Campsite in London's southern suburb. On the third day, unlike the first two, the rain was waiting for us, but at least there was no need for sun cream. Here we're cycling alongside 823 main highway towards Brighton. This is the last and much needed stop for some rest and food before the final push for the finish line. And finally, after 3 days of cycling from Bury St Edmunds, we are in Brighton, with just a few more miles left until reaching our hotel. As I mentioned earlier, we didn't experience any significant problems with our bikes during the ride, apart from one flat tire when we were already in Brighton. And as a wise man said once, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Brighton is one of the major cities on England's south coast. It's known for its vibrant atmosphere, beautiful beaches, historic pier, and a diverse culture. Also, there is a big choice of cuisine in local restaurants. And here we are, arrived in our hotel at about 8 o'clock in the evening. Just showing you a couple of photos we took on the Brighton seafront that evening. But this is not the end of the video yet. In the morning before catching our train back home, we headed to the seafront, as the weather was beautiful and sunny after yesterday's rain. If you look closely, there in the distance, is Brighton's famous Palace Pier. Here is my photo from a different day. And it's my son and me with our happy faces after completing the ride. Now, after all the adventures, we're walking to Brighton's train station. Walking as we didn't bother with replacing the inner tube in one of the bikes, which got punctured earlier, and it's only a short walk anyway. Brighton train station is one of the oldest in Britain. This beautiful building was constructed in 1840, so it is 183 years old. Thanks to all of you for watching our video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please donate towards the fundraising to help Ukraine. The link is in the description of the video. And we will see you soon.